Today is going to be a very important day in terms of US market. Not only in US market today, there is a very important binary event, but not only in US market, even in Indian market, we had a binary event which was RBI came out with a repo rate and they have decreased the repo rate, right? But it is of not any relevance or it is not having any significance, and that is why we didn't tell in yesterday's video. Now, you tell me what happened to Indian market in spite of RBI coming out and reducing the interest rate, right? Nothing happened. If you see the markets are almost flat. Nothing happened. Nothing. So it is of not importance. We don't give importance to our market. Rather, we give very importance to US market, and that is why we are saying that there is a very important binary event today evening which is going to happen in the US market. So it is going to be the interest rate decision by FOMC meeting is there at around 11:30 p.m. and they are going to decide whether they are going to increase, pause, or decrease the interest rate, right? So that is very important in terms of US market. Now all this till from corona till around October of or October, June, July, it was around 5.5%. Now it has come to around 4.5%. Now the problem here is there are lots of conspiracy theory or there are lots of politics in terms of US market. Donald Trump is coming out with a trade war. He is saying inflation is going to become inflation is coming down. Employment rate has been increasing. There are lots of contrary messages in between what Trump is saying and what actual data is saying. Now, if you have seen what happened to non-farm payroll data, which came out a few days back, it was on the higher side. So US market added 220k jobs in the last quarter or last month, and that was not a good sign. Actually, when you are adding jobs in the market, which means economy is expanding and it is not good for the market. So in terms of inflation, I'm not saying in terms of people, I'm saying in terms of inflation. So what could happen is whether there are three scenarios. Either they have to pause the interest rate, which they will do. Second thing is they have to increase the interest rate, and third thing is they have to decrease the interest rate. Now, if they pause the interest rate, which many people are expecting, even the US future, as I talk to you, US futures are all flat. It is in the green, and it will be in the green. Tomorrow we are having holiday. Day after tomorrow we will know the true color of our markets as well as the US market. And I don't know why these people are bringing out or why we are having leave on this binary events, very important binary events, right? So last time every Thursday they come out with a Fed rate increase or decrease, or Federal Reserve minutes come on a Indian holiday. I really don't know. Last 2 or 3 sessions that is the case. Now, let us say, for example, they are increasing the interest rate. Now, let us say not increasing the interest rate. Let us say they are pausing the interest rate. So, this is a very positive news for the market. As I told, this is what people are expecting. Now, if they are not increasing or decreasing, and instead, if they are pausing the interest rate, that is going to be a stable thing to do, and markets will not likely make any big moves on the higher side or lower side. Now, if they decrease the interest rate, that is going to be a very positive news for the market. Markets are going to go on the higher side, and if they increase the interest rate, it is going to be very bad for the markets don't like that. We are already in uncertainty, and the likelihood of market coming down is very high. So be careful in what you're doing today. I'm sure you would have hedged your position. Tomorrow is a holiday, and probably we don't know what is going to happen on Friday, whether we might see a big gap or gap down. Now, in terms of chart, I don't want to tell you what is going to happen in terms of chart, whether we are going to go on the higher side or whether we are going to go on the downside. I don't want to comment, especially when there is a binary event, very important binary event, like what is going to happen now. So it is not advisable to tell the direction. directional base. We'll have to wait and see. But in terms of chart, what I can see is that uh, people, FIAs are adding huge call options, which means they are having significant call options at around 23,500. Now, if you see the chart, today is expiry, and you can identify why they are not moving the chart, and why you can understand this buggers, or why I am saying this people are market makers, is because they have written huge number of puts and calls at around 23,000, not 23,000, 22,500 to 400 levels, and the market is not even moving an inch, right? So you can relate this to expiry. This whatever price action you are seeing, you can relate it to expiry, because there is expiry, because they have sold OTM call options and OTM put options. They don't want to move the market, and that is exactly what they are doing. If it was a normal day, like a weekend or weekday, they will move the market left, right, and center. They will make sure our whether we are selling call option or whether we are selling put option, it hits the stop loss and we end up in loss, right? Most of the people are in loss, right? That is what I can feel, or I can understand from this fraternity, from people around me, from people who are trading, big traders. I am saying about big traders. So there is every possibility for the markets to maybe gap up or gap down on Monday. So that's why I'm saying you will have to hedge your position. Otherwise, it is very hard. You will not be able to manage. If you are not able to manage, I would say you stay on the sidelines and see what is happening in terms of market, and decide whether you want to trade or not, right? With that being said, let me tell you one more thing. We have a webinar on 27th of April, which is going to be Sunday 11 a.m., for which the link is on the description below. So we are going to talk about strategies, how we can manage our trades, what is our trades, how we efficiently manage losses, everything we are going to talk. Plus, you are going to get access to previous webinars, exclusive premium content videos, plus 65 option strategies, plus access to our discussion group. So lots of things are there. If you want, you can click on the link in the description below. So that is up to you. If you want, you can go. Now, in terms of market, I want to tell you one more thing, is that now I have a personal opinion of what might happen. Now, let us say, for example, Federal Reserve is coming out and saying they are pausing the interest rate, which market participants are anticipating, and that is what most of the market participants are anticipating. Now, if they are pausing the interest rate, this is my opinion. I'm not saying you to short the market. I'm not saying you to go long in this market. I'm just saying my opinion. It might be wrong, it might be correct. That is next thing. We'll discuss about that in the next video. Now, if they pause the interest rate, I feel that even if pausing the interest rate is a positive news, there is every possibility for the markets to come on the downside. Now, this gap, whatever gap, the 1,500 or 1,200 points gap down, which we saw on 7th of April, is very hard to fill the gap. We need lot of momentum for the markets to we need a lot of positive news for the markets to fill this gap, which I believe is not going to come anywhere soon, because this guy is not retaliating. This guy is not getting what to say. This guy is not reversing the tariff, U.S. tariffs, and this guy is 200% sure about the tariff. Every day we open the newspaper, we are seeing only about the tariff. Even today morning, I opened opened the paper. There was a article about Trump increasing the tariff for pharmaceutical products by 100%. So we really don't know that. So there is every possible way for the markets to come on the downside. We might see 22,000 in the coming days, unless until there is really positive news. Now, when it comes to positive news, if he comes out and says we are going to reverse the taxes, US tariffs, whatever we have put, then you can see a big red candle and you can see market going towards 23,000 or even 23,500 hypothetically. But that is not going to happen. You know, this guy is very adamant. He is not ready to listen to anyone. He is manipulating, not only he is manipulating everything, he is also manipulating the US Federal Reserve, right? So there, if you see this data, you can understand what is happening in terms of U.S. Federal Reserve. Core inflation rate month on month is going to come tomorrow morning only. Core inflation rate year on year is going to come tomorrow morning only. Inflation rate and month on month and year on year is going to come tomorrow only. But FOMC minute is happening just before that, means he is putting pressure, lot of pressure to US Federal Reserve to maybe pause the interest rate, give some positive news, or give some in terms of markets. He You can understand markets are dragging like anything. It is a free fall in US market. Last 1 week it has lost more than maybe 15% or 17%, hypothetically 20%, and it is going to likely come out, and people are putting pressure, and he doesn't want, he is not showing that pressure, and he is just trying to manipulate the market with the help of Federal Reserve. Now I hope you can connect the dots what is happening in terms of US market. And we are, Indian markets, you know, are so blunt that we don't follow our own market. We don't follow what our RBI chairman is saying. We don't follow what our RBI governor is saying. Instead, we follow US Federal Reserve. That is a very, very shameful thing to happen, right? China doesn't do that. Japan doesn't do that. Asia Pacific doesn't do that. Europe doesn't do that. Only Indian markets are reacting to Federal Reserve, and it is very, very unfortunate that we are, instead of following our markets, we are following other markets, right? So that is, in that way, we are very, very unfortunate, right? So let us see what is going to happen tonight. Make sure you are awake till 11:30 a.m. There might be some positive news, there might be some negative news in terms of US market, more than what whether they are increasing, decreasing, or pausing the interest rate. It is very, very important what he says in terms of future. What is the future projection is very, very important. So concentrate or focus on what he is saying after 11:30. So that is very important, whether he is going to tell about future projection, GDP data, inflation data. So there are lots of proxies in terms of whether they are going to decrease or increase or pause the interest rate in future. Depends on lots of proxies, which that's what I told. Inflation rate year on year is not yet come, month on month is not yet come, but still they are coming out with FOMC minutes, right? So let us see how things pan out. I'll see you in yet another video. I have been talking for almost around 14 minutes. I hope you have hedged your position, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Till then, take care. Bye.